Because you spend time with God in the private place, and, in the quiet place where nobody sees you. And when you're worshiping, you're doing the same thing. It's not a strange thing. It's not a new thing that you need to, it's not a show that you're putting on. It's like you've been there. You're doing it again. You're there again. And I think it's just like, when you worship God and when you adore him in your private, time, and when no one is watching, it's just, do you develop a language, right, with God, and a way to express to him. And when you do it on Sundays, it just comes out of that place, it's like, I love you, Lord. And you just like show that face, and people are like, oh, so tender. And it's because it is genuine. You make sure that you genuinely love Jesus. And that we have to encourage people to sing and to be a part of the whole corporate worship. So there's definitely aspects of it that you will have to, it won't be like you're like singing like that all day. You have to open your eyes, you have to be involved, you have to look at people, read the room, make sure people are engaged, and God is moving, and asking God where they're going next. But so there's definitely aspects of it that's not gonna be like, oh yeah, because when I'm here, I'm just like, I don't have to worry about people, I'm just here with God myself, right? But like, it's just making sure that when I'm singing, I'm believing the lyrics that I'm singing, and that I'm responding with my actions to the lyrics that I'm singing. You know what I mean? If I sing, for example, what a beautiful name, like death could not hold you, the veil tore before you, you silenced the boast of sin and grave. Those are big declarations. And if I'm singing them like death could not hold you, the veil tore before, like not engaged, people are not gonna, so I ensure that I've been in the presence of God, that that I understand the lyrics, that I'm engaged with the word of God, as we're singing this. And I also make sure that people are engaged too, which that would be the most like like, I don't care really like making people like wowing people. It's just more like, I want them to understand what I understand. I want them to encounter the God that I know. So that's with love. I just, hey, like, this is where we're going, so yeah, it's just trying to get out of that mentality of like, oh, we're here to sing that. No, we're here for so much more. And we're just gonna worship God with a genuine heart and love people through it. I think that's how I, make sure I'm not performing,
That is so good, because hearing you, it seems like it's just an extension of your quiet time with Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. And it cannot be like quiet time, because you have people around you and you have to be aware. But you develop a language, you develop a relationship. When I talk to my best friend, I'm like, hey girl, I don't talk to everyone like I talk to her. You know what I mean? And I don't talk, and when I talk to my fiance, to Chip, I'm like very sweet. I like, hey boo, blah, blah. I don't call anyone boo or whatever. Like he's my boo. So you develop a language, a kind of a tone with people, right? Like when you go back home, and if you're like part from a town, or you went to college in a town that people speak kind of a different accent, and then you meet again with those people, your accent changes, and you're like, you like talk like you used to when you were in college, or you use your slang and whatnot. So that's the same thing with God. It's like you develop, this way of talking to him and worshiping him and this tone and this expression. It's just like shapes who you are, the way you worship. And you just like genuinely, you bring that to the table when you lead worship on Sundays, and it becomes part of like who you are as a worship leader. And, and that's how I think that's how you fight against the performance. Because I'm not here to, when you realize, hey, I don't need to wow anyone. We're hungry for God's presence, and we want people to have an encounter with God, and we just want to worship Jesus. Then it just becomes less about us, becomes less about our performance. Or performance is important because it helps us be just excellent. I think when there's excellence involved, I think that's, but it doesn't, it's parallel, excellence and your, your spiritual health is like parallel. They go together because you have to work on your skill. You have to steward your gift and work on your skill. So you have to learn how to use your skill, and performance might be a little bit involved in that. But genuinely, when you love God and you worship, it's just those things like go hand in hand and not against each other. When it's all about performance, then it's just like, everyone's like, yeah, music is great, but it was not anointed. You know what I mean? Like they sounded amazing, but it was like, wow, the presence of God was here, which I think that's what it's more important to us, like people encountering the presence of God.
Yeah, that is awesome, because I believe it's a heart posture. Because when someone is worshiping versus when someone's performing, a worshiper's heart is to point people to Jesus.
Yes.
A performance heart is like pointing people to me.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, hey, look at me, and that's not the point. It's not about us. It's about Jesus. So yeah, I agree. That's a good way to put it.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more content, subscribe over here and watch the next video over there. God bless you.